then leaving. What do you want? Oh, the gift. I forgot about the gift. But you remembered. If I take it from you, will I understand all of this? The last time you left before I opened it. Please don't go. It's a bracelet. Oh, it's lovely. But what does it mean? Who are you? Why are you giving me this present? What does all this mean?
We do have to leave. Look, Mrs. Scott, it's not going to be as bad as you think. You can visit your husband every Sunday.
It'll be all right. I mean, we'll be in touch, I promise. Don't worry.
Mr. Scott?
I have to go.
I'm sorry we have to do it this way, Mr. Scott.
Draper, the silver bracelet. How could I have ever thought of that as a gift?
This thing's gonna blow up any second. Quick! In my vest! The handcuff key! The handcuff key! Get out of my vest!
Lie still!
Stop worrying about me. I can hardly move, even if you got this thing off my leg. I think my back's broken. Quick, get the handcuff key out of my vest. Unlock the handcuffs.
Hey, with us. Yeah. Oh, if I can use two hands.
Draper! Kill that woman, did you?
No! Of course I didn't!
Glenn, for the love of God, get out of here! For your wife, for your kids, get out of here!
I can't leave you here!
Get out of here, Draper!
All right. I'll be back. I'm gonna get help. There's fire everywhere.
Goodness.
It's so hot.
No, what's wrong? No, it's all right. The poor thing must be having a terrible dream. No, it's all right. Now you're safe here. Everything's gonna be all right. Everything's gonna be all right, my darling. My darling.
What's going on in here?
I thought you were asleep.
With one eye open, I was. Then I heard him scream. It nearly took 10 years off my life.
You must have had a very bad dream.
What are you doing in here? And how come you're not dressed for bed?
Well, I wasn't tired. And, so I thought I'd stay up and read.
In here?
Molly, the man needs looking after.
Emily, how could you? If I hadn't come in here, you'd have spent the whole night alone with an imperfect stranger.
I know everything I need to know about him, Molly.
Oh, really?
Well, I know that he's hurt and that he needs me.
You were talking to him. What was that all about?
I was just trying to comfort him and let him know that he's safe.
Emily, if you're concerned with anybody's safety, it should be ours.
Oh, Molly, please, I keep trying to tell you. He's nothing to worry about. He's not going to ravish us and run off with the family fortune.
I don't even want to hear you say such things.
So please stop worrying.
That man could be a dangerous criminal for all you know.
He doesn't look like a dangerous criminal. Oh, Molly, the man is injured badly. Can't you see that?
What a time for your father to be out of town.
Look, it really is getting late. Why don't you go to bed?
Because I'm not tired now. Besides that, young lady, I'm supposed to be taking care of you, and I don't intend to let you spend the night in here alone with him.
Well, I'm going to stay here. He may need something.
If you want to play Florence Nightingale, I suggest you become a volunteer at County General.
Molly, I've had just about enough of your nonsense. Shh. Now, why don't you just go to bed?
Don't you raise your voice to me. What's gotten into you?
Look, Molly, why don't you just go back to your room and pull your covers over your head and have sweet dreams, okay?
If he moves a muscle, you call me.
Good night, Molly. That was the first time I've ever stood up to her. And you gave me the strength to do it.
Isn't somebody telling me there's a fire in this hotel? It's gonna be big trouble. Who is it?
It's me. Open up.
Hello, my pet.
What are you doing here?
I thought I'd do some bird watching, and you are the most beautiful blackbird I know.
You know, you have some nerve.
Well, aren't you going to invite me in?
No, as a matter of fact.
What's wrong? Did I forget the secret knock?
Elliot, do you know what time it is?
Yes, as a matter of fact, if my memory serves me, we've met before at this time, only you were too happy to see me.
That was ancient history, darling.
History has a way of repeating itself, Napoleon said.
What do you want?
Your company, my love.
Elliot, it is very late and I'm very tired, so would you please go away?
I refuse to leave this doorstep. Now, what would your neighbors say if they saw a strange man camping out there?
All right, look. You've got 5 minutes and then I am kicking you out.
All right, 5 minutes is more than enough. Time has always stood still when we were together.
Why didn't you call before you came? I could have saved you a cab fare.
You must have known I was going to come. You dressed for the occasion.
I do not appreciate being awakened in the middle of the night.
You can get back under the covers, honey. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't mind at all joining you.
Have you been drinking?
I was just relaxed. Why don't you just pour us a nightcap so we can unwind together?
What's the matter? You strike out at all the singles bars?
It's not nice. You're the only woman who really turns me on.
Listen, it is late, and flattery will get you nowhere. Besides, I'm a married woman.
I've never been the kind to kiss and tell.
Look, Elliot, will you just leave?
Raven, please let me stay.
Get away from here. Get out.
Some pity is all I ask. Some charity. Some compassion.
Yes, who do I look like, dear Abby?
You're the one I want to share my innermost thoughts with.
Lucky me.
You know, I'm in a very difficult situation. I just lost my wife. And now, today, I just lost my fiancé, too.
Well, this is the perfect time for me to say something to you. Have you ever heard the old saying that bad things happen in threes?
Yes?
Well, I have news for you. In case you didn't know, you've just lost me.
Yes. Morning. I just saw the nurse down the hall. She said that in about 15 minutes she's going to come up with your release papers. Good. Good. Listen, Nicole, are you really sure that my staying with you and Miles is a good idea? We're your family, aren't we?
Well, that doesn't mean it's a good reason. Look, I honestly don't know why you want to have me around knowing everything that's happened.
How can you say that? We want you with us because of what's happened. Is there any more important time for a family to be together than when there's been a tragedy?
Tradition? That doesn't always make it right. Listen to me. Do you understand that my being there will be a constant reminder to both you and Miles of what's happened? The two of you have gone through too much in your own lives lately.
We love you. We want you with us. Now, whether or not you're going to want to live with us is something you're going to have to decide for yourself. But in any case, we'll understand.
It's just that I don't feel I belong anywhere. Not with you and Miles, not with Mike and Nancy, not even in my own home. Without my husband.
Well, don't forget, there's somebody that belongs with you. Down the hall in that isolette, there's a little baby girl who's going to be leaving this hospital in a few weeks, too.
Yeah, my baby.
And Draper's baby, too.
What's wrong? Oh, let me get you some water. I'll get you some water. Just take it a little at a time. Let me help you. Let me help you. Just sip it. Just sip it. It's okay. Oh, Molly, he's awake. He's alive. Here, let me help you.
When I was widowed, I didn't think the pain was ever going to stop. And in a way, it doesn't. It just changes. It becomes more bearable. It becomes a part of yourself. It just becomes a part of that whole collection of memories all of us have. Sad memories. Happy memories, too.
It just doesn't seem possible to me right now that the pain I'm feeling would ever be bearable.
You go through stages, and they're not predictable. They're not consistent. There'll be a time when you think that you've learned to live with your loss, and something will happen to remind you of how great it really is. It gets easier.
Oh, Nicole, I hope so.
Oh, something else you've heard before. The most important thing for you to do right now is to live. Just live one day at a time. Don't expect any miracle cures, and don't try to forget your grief.
I couldn't even if I did try.
And Miles and I will help you as much as we can, but if there's a time when you don't want our help, you just tell us to mind our own business.
Do you know you're terrific? Really? I love you.
Well, I mean it. Now, don't be afraid of hurting our feelings. If you don't want to live with us, just tell us. I'll break your nose, but I'll understand. We have a very busy household, you know. Adam is quite a handful.
Well, you gotta let me help take care of him.
Oh, no, come on. We've got Mrs. Goodman. We don't want you to be a babysitter.
I mean it. I'm gonna need something to do. I want to go back to work at the studio, but I can't, not just yet.
Well, we'll see. You remember what I told you, though, okay?
I will. Excuse me. Sure. Hello? Yes? Yes? Oh. Yeah, well, where... Who arranged it? Oh, no, I don't want to Yes, I understand. Thank you.
Who was that?
A woman from the state police.
What did she have to say?
She called about Draper's body. She wanted to tell me that they were sending it to Monticello today and that it would be sent to the Monticello funeral home. I hadn't even thought about that yet.
Miles arranged for it. Now, why did she have to call you? Why couldn't she call some other...
Because, Nicole, I was his wife. Of course. Well, did, Miles take care of all the other arrangements? The, service and the burial?
Yeah, he's arranged everything. The service is tomorrow. I don't know what time yet, though.
Yeah. I, better finish packing.
Cliff, nobody is blaming you for anything. Unless you're blaming yourself, but that's paranoid. What is done is done. It's nobody's fault, all right?
Hey, come on. Did you read this morning's Monticello Star?
Oh, the
Hey, did you
Star.
see that editorial?
They'd say anything to sell papers. A month ago, they were screaming for Draper's blood. Now, just forget about that. You can't change the past.
I wish I could. Tell you one thing, I never would have taken this case. Boy, when you handed it to me, I should have walked out that door.
Oh, why? Because you were so certain Draper was innocent?
Well, I thought there was room for reasonable doubt.
Come off it. You stood right there and swore up and down he was guilty.
Hey, that is just an act that I have to put on in order to prepare for court. Look, I thought there was something suspicious about this Nola Madison from the very beginning.
Oh, you did, huh? When did you ever have anything to do with Nola Madison?
I met her once, and I have seen every one of her movies. Look, if I were handling the defense for that case, I would have had her on the stand.
Cliff, please. You told me you had a lunch date, right? Wouldn't want you to be late for it.
Oh, yeah, right. Look, boss, I want you to know that I don't want to go on this lunch date.
Why?
Well, you heard what I said. You know, there might be somebody gunning for me out there.
Well, go in disguise, but go.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You know, I bet if I grew a mustache, no one would recognize me.
You ought to be able to manage that. You've got at least 20 minutes before your date, haven't you?
Look, I just want you to know that I don't know why I'm going on this lunch date.
Okay, I'll bite. Who is your date with?
Well, no one. I mean, it's with someone, of course, but it's with no one who's, you know, it's with some...
Anybody you know?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, no, I don't know her. Well, yes, I know her, but I don't... You know, I said I'd meet her at the restaurant.
If you run into a lynch mob, let me know. I'll be right here.
Boss, I just want you to know that I don't want to go on this date.
What the hell was that about?
Yeah, sure, Logan. I'll be staying with Miles and Nicole. I'm sure they won't mind if you come by.
We can soon, if that's all right with you.
Logan, they're sending Draper's body back today, and they're bringing it to the Monticello funeral home. Services will be tomorrow. Not sure what time yet.
Well, you let me know. I'll be there, of course.
Yeah, I will. Guess I'll see you then.
Take care of yourself, April.
I will. Thanks. Bye-bye. Listen, would you mind if I just made one stop before we go?
No, fine.
I just want to say goodbye to Julia. I'll just be a second.
Okay, I'll get the suitcase.
Thank you.
Now, don't you worry. Your wife is going to be just fine.
I hope so.
Excuse me. Hi, Mrs. Scott.
Hi.
Looks like you're going to be leaving us.
Yeah, my baby too, I'm afraid.
It won't be long before you be together. She's gaining weight every minute.
Yeah. Listen, do you think I could see her for a minute?
Of course, I could get her.
Thank you. You know, it's awful for a new mother to have to go home and leave her baby here, you know?
Yeah.
It's just that I never visualized it would happen like this. Yeah, well, No. Yes, I never. A lot of things have happened that I never thought would happen this way. Well, hi there, sweetie. Yeah, it's your mommy again. I'm gonna have to leave you here for a little while. They all seem to think it's better if you stay here where they can keep an eye on you and make sure you get bigger and stronger. But I promise you, sweetheart, it won't be for long. I promise. We'll be together again. The two of us. You want to take this table over there?
Cynthia. Hi.
Cliff, hi. How you doing?
Not too good today.
Look, I'm getting off in about 15 minutes.
Oh, look, I really have to, but I got a date. I would rather be with you, believe me, but hey, it's business, really. It's a client. Look, hey, is there a dark-haired woman who walked in here and probably sitting alone?
Yeah, sure. She's over there. And good luck.
Thanks. I'll need it.
Oh, hi, Mr. Nelson. It's so nice of you to do this.
Well, any wife of the boss is a friend of mine. Sorry, that didn't come out right.
That's all right. Sit down, really, please. I've been dying to talk to you ever since the trial. You were wonderful.
You think so? You seem to be the only one in town who has that opinion.
No, I think you're a wonderful attorney, and that's why I was wondering, do you give free legal advice? Hey, I'm not just being flattering. You were very, very good. And the jury obviously thought so, too.
Look, you're reading the newspaper. You obviously didn't get to the editorial page.
No. Look, I know that Mrs. Madison was the one that killed Mrs. Dorn, but doesn't that prove my point?
What point?
That you were able to convince the jury that he was guilty, even though he was innocent.
I suppose that's one way of looking at it, but that doesn't make me...
No, to me, that's proof of a lawyer's ability. I mean, anybody can convict someone that's guilty, right?
You know, that's just not legalistically, legal. In fact, I know one guy would say it was crazy. Boy, my boss, Logan Swift, would just... Oh, I'm sorry.
Logan is a goody-goody. Tell me something. Are you like that?
Wait a minute, you mean do I have standards? Yeah, I do.
Well, that's good to know. You know, I can't believe that all this happened to Draper. He was such an attractive man, don't you think?
He's not my type.
Well, did you know that Draper and I were engaged? Logan probably told you.
Oh, well, actually, Mrs. Swift, he...
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm sure Logan has told you many, many terrible things about me.
No, Mrs. Swift, he's never ever mentioned you. Really.
He hasn't?
No, your name never comes up in conversation. I guess you're right up there with religion and politics.
How flattering. Well, actually, I can think of one good reason why he wouldn't talk about our personal life. It's because you're an attorney.
What does that have to do with it?
It has everything to do with it because Logan has done several things that any decent attorney would know were downright illegal.
Logan? Oh, come
Did you hear what he did to our son, Jamie?
No, I didn't hear anything. What did he do?
He kidnapped him. It's true. I brought Jamie over to April and Draper Scott's to take care of him while I went to Europe to visit my family.
Now, just a minute. You didn't visit your family. Look, Mrs. Swift, I was under the impression that you went there to stay.
That's not true. I just didn't know how long I was going to be abroad. I had no intention of deserting my son. Did Logan tell you that?
No, I told you he never, ever brings up his personal life.
Well, I think that I have every right to arrange for Jamie's care without consulting Logan. I am Jamie's legal parent. Logan is merely the man I happen to marry. One of my lesser inspirations, by the way. So he has no legal right, right?
Oh, I see now. This is the free legal advice that you wanted.
Well, no, not really. Actually, I know the answer to that. It's no. If Logan had adopted Jamie, then he would have rights, but he hasn't, so he's holding him illegally.
Now, if you have all these facts and know all these answers, why do you need me?
No, see, I don't really. That's the problem. I've seen about half a dozen lawyers since I've been back to Monticello.
So that's why you never got in contact with your friends when you came back. You were so busy seeing lawyers, right?
You see what I mean? You are a good attorney.
Oh, thank you.
I have seen every single matrimonial lawyer in the city, and I get the same stupid answer. And I'm sick and tired of paying for advice that I can't use. So I thought perhaps you could give me some advice
Well,
about
now,
what
just a minute. If all these lawyers told you one thing, Mrs. Swift, what...
Call me Raven.
Oh, well. All right, Raven. I don't...
Look, really, it doesn't matter what advice you give me, because I think this is going to be a very nice lunch. Every other lawyer I've met with has absolutely zero sex appeal.
Well, just for the sake of conversation here, what would you rate me on sex appeal? I mean, off the record, of course.
A definite 10.
A 10? Really? Well, why don't you call me Clifford?
Okay, Clifford. Clifford, I've been beside myself because none of these lawyers will help me. They're afraid. They know that Logan's the district attorney and they're afraid to face him in court.
Now,
so
just
I thought
a minute.
that
You want me to go into court? Hey, he's my boss. I need that job.
No.
What are you asking me to do?
No, I don't want you to represent me. I know you can't do that. I just want your advice. He has my son illegally.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Swift. The old axiom does apply here. Possession is 9 points of the law.
You mean that's why I can't have him, because Logan has it?
Look, I'm very uncomfortable here. Could we just order?
Wait a minute. You're right. Logan has him, so that's why it makes his case look better than it really is.
Listen, can we...
Wait. What if he didn't have it?
Can we eat? I mean, I'm very hungry. I get... When I'm nervous, I get hungry, and I'm very nervous. Cynthia?
No use, Molly. He's asleep. I just don't know what to do.
Well, I know what you should do. You should call an ambulance or the police or both.
Molly, I wish you would just stop telling me that.
Well, if you're so worried about his health, that's what you should do. But if you ask me, it's not him you're worried about.
Of course I am. Look at him. Look at the terrible condition he's in. Look at his poor face.
Yes? And that leg of his is probably broken, too. Do you think it's fair to let him lie there and get worse? He might even die on us. Do you want that on your conscience?
No. Daddy will be home soon, and he can take care of him.
The train might be late. It happens, you know. The weather in Chicago might be bad.
Molly, I am not going to call anyone.
Why not? Just because it gives you pleasure to play Florence Nightingale.
Oh, he's coming to again. He's coming to. Oh, can you hear me? Can you? Please try a little more. You just need the nourishment.
Ask him who he is, Emily.
Maybe he wants to know who we are and where he is. Unless he already knows that.
How did I get here?
We found you out back last night. You were hurt.
Oh, no, please don't move. Be careful. We don't know how badly you're injured.
I told Emily to call an ambulance last night, but she wouldn't hear of it.
It's all right. You see, my father is a doctor, and he's going to be home any minute now.
Will you please tell us what you were doing out there?
Not sure. Oh. I have to call somebody. Somebody has to know that I'm here, that I'm all right.
But who? Is it a woman? Oh, No, I'll call anyone. You just tell me the name and the number, and I'll call them.
I can't. I don't know the number. I can't find it. Somebody. I have to talk to somebody, but I don't know.
No, it's all right now. Everything's gonna be all right. Just
Seems as though a harmony is hard to find. Always on our mind. And frustrated days pass without sight. The edge of night, half dark, half light, as we watch our hearts trying to hold the tenderness that we once had.
Oh, no, please don't move. We don't know how badly injured you are.
I told Miss Emily she should call an ambulance last night, but she wouldn't hear of it.
It's all right. You see, my father is a doctor, and he's going to be home any minute.
Would you please tell us what you were doing out there?
I have to call somebody. Somebody has to know where I am. That I'm all right.
Who? Is it a woman? Is it... Oh, no, just tell me the name and the number, and I'll call anyone for you.
I can't. I don't know the name. I can't find it. I have to call somebody. I don't know who.
Even if you can't remember the name of this person, you can tell us your name, can't you?
Well, you do know your own name, don't you?
I can't even tell you who I am. I was dreaming. I don't know what it was. It was a lot of noise, screaming, and the fire. The heat was so intense. How'd I get in here?
We carried you up here, that's how. And it wasn't easy. There's an awful lot of you, you know.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause any trouble.
No, it's all right. And don't worry about not remembering anything, because it'll all come back to you very soon. Everything.
Something has to come back to me. I feel like I'm in the middle of a fog. An ugly white fog. It's making me so tired.
You really should eat something. You know, you've hardly touched your soup.
It's dead cold, of course, now.
Molly, would you make some hot soup then for him? Maybe if he ate something, he'd feel better.
If you ask me, he needs a doctor, not soup. And I still think you ought to call the ambulance.
No! He'll be all right here. Daddy will be home soon, and he'll take care of him. Besides, you don't want to go to a hospital, do you?
Maybe they'll find a doctor there who can restore his memory.
God, what's happening to me? I know I'm a person. I'm somebody. I don't know who.
Don't worry about anything. It's gonna be all right.
Somebody. There's somebody who wants me. Who's waiting for me. They're depending on me. I don't know who they are. Maybe they're family, they're friends.
Now look, just rest. Don't think about anything. You have had a terrible thing happen. It's just gonna take time. And rest. And food. I'll be back very soon.
Well, did he say anything else?
No, nothing. He doesn't know who he is, and he's forgotten everything in the past.
Emily, have some sense. Use your head. He made up that amnesia because he couldn't think of another story fast enough.
What?
Yes, he's faking. He doesn't want you to know who he is or what he was doing out there.
I don't believe he's faking. I mean, all you have to do is look at him. He's so terribly upset.
I don't believe in that amnesia stuff. I never saw a person with amnesia in my whole life. It's just something you read in stories.
Molly, it's a fact. And it does happen to people, especially after they've had a terrible time. But in this case, it doesn't really matter. I mean, even if he doesn't know what his name is, I do.
You said that last night. But you still haven't told me what his name is.
Oh, kind of weightless, like I don't have much existence at all.
Nonsense. You're here, you're with your family, people who love you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Oh, thanks. What are you doing home at this hour of the day? Shouldn't you be with your patients?
Don't worry about it.
Where's Mrs. Goodman? Or are you babysitting?
I'm babysitting. She couldn't make it.
You know you're not going to need Mrs. Goodman for as long as I'm here.
Oh, don't be silly. We don't want you as a babysitter. You're our guest.
Nicole, I meant it as, look, you don't have to fire me, all right? But as long as I'm here and not working, gotta let me help with Adam. It'll give me something to do.
Why not? Sounds like a good idea. She might as well get in some practice taking care of babies, right? Your own will be out of the hospital pretty soon.
Not that taking care of a 4-year-old has much to do with a newborn.
Well, look, your bed is made upstairs. You can go up anytime you want to.
Oh, thanks, but I'm not too anxious to jump back into bed. I feel like I've been living in bed past couple of weeks.
Can I get you something? How about a pot of coffee?
Oh, that'd be terrific. I don't know what it is about hospitals, but their coffee always tastes like mud.
Oh, I think they make it in the laboratory.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Look, April, I know you're still not absolutely sure about having made this move to come here, and I don't want you to feel that you're under any obligation.
Miles and Nicole told me the same thing.
I just meant you ought to do whatever makes you feel best. If you start feeling too stifled here, or if Adam is too much for you, for example, you just say the word. You have another invitation, from Mike and Nancy.
Come here. Oh, thank you. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. I have been wondering whether it would be better for me and for everyone concerned if I were by myself. I mean that. I don't want to make people uncomfortable, Miles.
Oh, don't be silly.
No, I'm not. I'm very confused about my life, about my feelings right now. And it's very hard for me to think positively about anything. Because the person I love most in the whole entire world is dead.
I made a sandwich as well as some coffee. I thought you might not have enjoyed the hospital food any more than you did their coffee.
Thank you.
I'll get that.
Cream and sugar.
Hello? Deborah, hello. Oh, yes, as a matter of fact, she is. I'll ask her. Just a second. April, it's Deborah Saxon. Would you like to talk to her?
No, I really don't think I want to talk to anyone right now. She's bound to say something about Draper, and I just don't want to deal with it.
Deborah, I think you know April just got back from the hospital. I think she'd like to rest for a little while. Okay, well, I'll ask her.
Yes, of course I will.
Okay, bye-bye. Deborah would like to stop by in the next couple of days and see you.
Condolence calls. I dread it. I really don't know how I'm going to do this all over again. I mean, first my mother, now my husband, another funeral.
I think that Deborah is especially anxious to see you because she feels so terrible about any part you might have played in this tragedy.
Well, she is the one who found out the truth, though. She and Steve and Calvin.
A little late. A couple of hours too late. Just one train too late. Look, there's no reason for her to feel bad. I don't blame her. It's not her fault.
No, it isn't. She was forced to do what she did. If anybody's to blame, it's Derek Mallory.
What?
I'm sorry. It was unnecessary. Here, I'll have her coffee.
Well, wonders never cease.
Can I come in, or do you have a house guest?
Just me and a couple of drinks.
Well, I wouldn't exactly call this squalor, but then again, I wouldn't exactly call it a movie star's pad. What have you been living on?
Unemployment compensation and hope. Don't tell me you've turned into a social worker, Raven. What are you doing here?
As a matter of fact, yes. It is a social call.
How nice. Social, but not friendly.
Well, shall we say social, but businesslike, okay? I need some help. It's something I don't think I can handle on my own.
What could that possibly be?
It's about my son. I need someone to help me get him back, and you're the first person I thought of.
That's a job for attorneys, darling.
I don't want to talk about attorneys or two attorneys anymore. That's all I've been doing ever since I got back to Monticello.
So that was the secret activity, wasn't it?
Yes. However, no one will represent me because they don't want to face the district attorney in court, even though it's only a custody charge.
My God, Raven, you're serious. You amaze me. You constantly amaze me.
Yes, I'm very serious. I intend to get Jamie back, and I will do anything, including steal him. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what I plan to do. With your help, of course. Look, darling, just because I am married to Logan does not mean that he automatically is Jamie's father. Even the stupid attorneys agree on that.
So what's the big problem?
The problem is nobody wants to represent me because he's the district attorney. And then there's one more problem. You see, I left Jamie here when I went away to Europe.
A minor detail.
Yes, but they cannot prove that I meant to live in Europe permanently. I mean, what's wrong with just going there for a visit? And after all, I did make arrangements to have him taken care of.
Yes, with the Scots.
Only the way I understood the story, you gave them your little bundle from heaven.
That's not true. You can't just give a baby away.
That wasn't from want of trying, darling.
Will you shut up? Look, don't say that. It's not true. Never say again that I gave my baby away. You understand? I don't think April will ever say it either.
Why wouldn't she? If it's true.
Because she's my friend. Besides that, she's such a sweet thing. She would never say anything that hurtful.
She is also Logan Swift's friend.
Are you kidding? He's the one that sent her husband to prison and therefore is directly responsible for his death. You call that friendship?
Ah, that twisted mind of yours, Raven. You really should donate it to science when you die.
Well, I'm not going to die, not for a while. I'm going to live, and I'm going to live really well. And I'm going to live with my son. And if you won't help me get him back, that's just fine. That's great, Elliot. I'll find someone who will.
Wait a second. You have me utterly fascinated now. Tell me some more about this little scheme of yours.
It's not a scheme. The law would approve of what I'm doing.
Stealing a baby?
Well, it's not stealing. I'm just repossessing my own property. I am the child's mother. Logan is nothing. He just has it. Have you ever heard of the term, possession is 9 points of the law?
Yes, only I thought it was 9/10.
Cliff Nelson told me it was 9 points.
Nelson, Logan's assistant.
How many more people do you have in this scheme?
Never mind. The point is, Logan stole that child from April. So we're just going to go take him back.
And you want me to be your confederate?
It's not going to be dangerous. There's no crime being committed. We're not going to hold him for ransom.
Are you sure, Raven? Are you sure you don't have some form of ransom in mind?
Absolutely not.
I didn't mean money. I meant, maybe you don't want the little boy back so much. Maybe he's just a way of getting the daddy back.
Logan is not Jamie's daddy, and I don't want Logan. All I want is Jamie.
How about what I want?
You can have anything you want if you help me.
Where have you been? With him?
No, I was changing, that's all.
Is that your new dress?
Well, is there any reason why I shouldn't wear it? After all, my father is coming home today.
Emily, how could you possibly know that man's name? He doesn't know it himself.
I just do, that's all.
Well, he didn't have a scrap of identification on him. No wallet, nothing at all. Did he say something to you? You spent the whole night in his room. Did he talk in his sleep?
No, Molly, he didn't say a word.
Emily, what is the matter with you? I just don't know what your father's going to say to all this.
He will agree with me, Molly. Wait and see. He'll recognize him, too.
Recognize him? So, you've seen this man before?
It all happened long before you came to this house. Before my mother died.
What happened?
You're going to have to wait until my father comes home.
Don't be coy with me, William. There's been a change since my last EKG. I can practically see the difference in your eyes.
Yes, there has been a change, Leo.
And not for the better.
Not for the better, no. Leo, if you weren't a doctor, too, I could obscure this diagnosis with a lot of technical jargon, but...
You can't fool me, William. I know the severity of my angina attacks. And as I said, I've had several episodes since I saw you last.
Yeah, they're right here on the EKG, Leo. They've left their traces.
All right. Now, you know what I want to know.
Not about surgery, I hope.
No, I realize surgery won't help. What I want to know is, William, I have a daughter, and she's all I have. And unfortunately, I'm all she has.
Yes, I know about Emily.
She's not an invalid or mentally incompetent or anything like that. But she's been sheltered. Something happened in our lives that made us too dependent upon each other. And if anything was going to happen to me, then I sort of have to make arrangements for the future. Don't you see?
Yes, of course.
That's why you have to be honest with me. If there's anything eminent on that piece of paper,
Leo, make whatever arrangements you can. And I'm sorry.
I keep trying and trying, and nothing comes back to me. Not a name, not a face. I don't even know what my face looks like.
Oh, it's a very pretty face. Although, I'm afraid it's a bit cut up right now.
Well, maybe if I can get out of bed and look in the mirror, it'll bring some...
No, don't get up.
I've got to know who I am. I don't even know who you are.
My name is Emily. It's Emily Galt. And our housekeeper is Molly Sheridan. And I can even tell you what your name is.
You can. Why haven't you told me before?
Because I wanted us to be alone.
Please tell me. Who am I?
This is you. It was taken 10 years ago, but it is you. And your name is Kirk Michaels.
Well, look who's here.
Can I come in, or do you have a house guest?
What do you have there? I'm starving.
Chinese. Can't guarantee the quality, but then, you didn't want to go down to a restaurant with me.
Elliot, I told you we cannot be seen in public, at least not right now.
That doesn't matter. We'll be cozy anyway. And afterwards, we'll be even cozier.
What's this, today's paper?
Yeah, it's just more depressing news about the train wreck at Grand Falls. And probably some lugubrious story about Draper Scott.
Yes, it is. There he is. I can't believe it really happened. He was so sexy in a boyish kind of way.
Oh, he's got one problem. He's dead. You worry about the living.
I keep trying and trying. Nothing comes back to me. Not a name, not a face. I don't even know what my face looks like.
Oh, it's a very pretty face. Although it is a bit cut up right now.
Maybe if I got out of bed and looked in the mirror, it would bring something back.
No, you mustn't. Just
I've
rest.
got to know who I am. I don't even know who you are.
My My name is Emily. It's Emily Galt. And our housekeeper is Molly Sheridan. I can even tell you what your name is.
You can't? Why haven't you told me before?
Because I wanted us to be alone.
Who am I? Please tell me.
This is you. It was taken 10 years ago, but it is you. And your name is Kirk Michaels.
Oh, God. It's not familiar. Do I still look like this?
Well, you have changed a lot, but it was taken 10 years ago when you were a boy.
This picture, you found it on me.
No, I've kept it. I've kept it all these years.
You? Why? How?
Because I took the picture, Kirk. 10 years ago when you lived in this house. And I knew that you would come back to it someday. And that's just what you did. Last night. You were coming back here. I know you were. And nothing could stop you. Although something almost did. An accident, I suppose. You did have a head injury, and you were unconscious.
Do you think whatever happened nearby?
I don't know. From the condition of your clothes, you looked like you'd walked quite a distance, maybe through the woods.
Where was I coming from?
I don't know. I only know where you were headed.
Here? This house?
Yes.
Why?
Because you know this house and because you wanted to come back to it.
You knew this Kirk Michaels.
Yes, I knew him. I knew you. And when your memory comes back, you'll know me too, and you'll remember why you wanted to come back here, and you'll remember your name. Look, it's quite possible that you changed your name. Well, 10 years have passed. You may be calling yourself something else.
And maybe you're mistaken. I mean, this picture's so old. It's
No.
not even clear. Maybe
No,
it was
there is no mistake.
Well, then, maybe you ought to call the police.
No, I won't call the police. Kirk, do you really want to let the police know where you are?
I don't know.
I think we should just let things as they are. Because my father will be home soon, and he's a doctor. And he'll take care of everything that's wrong with you.
Including this fog?
Everything is going to be all right. I promise you.
Dr. Galt still hasn't returned to his room? Oh, I see. He has checked out. Yes. Well, can you tell me when? No, it's all right. Thank you.
I think he's better. He has a little more color in his face than he did last night. But he's still terribly sleepy.
Well, did you talk to him? Did you, tell him who he was?
Yes, I told him.
And? Did it jog his memory?
No, it didn't. Molly, where do you keep the wine?
In the kitchen. I use it for cooking. I don't drink, you know that.
Well, I just thought it might be good for him.
Liquor was never good for anybody. And if that man up there gets drunk, you don't know what he'll do.
Well, the truth is, I was thinking about having a glass myself.
Well, there's your father, Sherry, of course.
That's a good idea.
Emily, I believe you're happy.
I am.
I mean, you're not worried or upset or even frightened at this happening, at this man coming here in this condition just when your father's away. I think you're glad it happened.
I am glad, Molly. I'm happier about this than I have been about anything in 10 years.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
I only want a sip. I just feel like celebrating.
Well, who is he? Who is this Kirk Michaels?
You never met him, Molly. He, lived here before you came.
He lived here? You mean he was a relative?
I guess you could say that. He lived here before you came to work. Before my mother died.
How come I never heard any mention of him?
We, just didn't talk about him, that's all.
Why not?
We just didn't. He was part of the past. But now he'll be part of the future.
Emily, I think I'm entitled to know what is going on here. I've worked for you and your father for years, and I still hardly know anything about this family.
You'll have to ask Daddy.
We'll see. He may not be here when Daddy comes home.
Don't be coy with me, William. There's been a change since my last EKG. I can practically see the difference in your eyes.
Yes, there has been a change, Leo.
And not for the better.
Not for the better, no. Leo, if you weren't a doctor, too, I could obscure this diagnosis with a lot of technical jargon, but...
You can't fool me, William. I know the severity of my angina attacks. And as I said, I've had several episodes since I saw you last.
Yeah, they're right here on the EKG, Leo. They left their traces.
All right. Now, you know what I want to know.
Not about surgery, I hope.
No, I realize surgery won't help. What I want to know is, William, I have a daughter, and she's all I have. And unfortunately, I'm all she has.
Yes, I know about Emily.
She's not an invalid or mentally incompetent or anything like that. But she's been sheltered. Something happened in our lives that made us too dependent upon each other. And if anything was going to happen to me, then I sort of have to make arrangements for the future. Don't you see?
Yes, of course.
That's why you have to be honest with me. If there's anything eminent on that piece of paper,
Leo, make Make whatever arrangements you can. And I'm sorry.
I just can't leave her with Molly, with her housekeeper. She doesn't even like Molly.
No other family?
There's no one, William. No one at all. And she doesn't even know what it's like to be alone. Worse yet, she doesn't even know what it's like to be with other people her age. She just shut herself off from the rest of the world just because, well, the reason really doesn't matter. What matters is that Emily will have no one to care for her, or for her to care about.
I just thought it might make you feel better.
I'm so sleepy.
Well, that's all right, too. I think sleep is probably the best medicine for you right now. So I'll just go out and let you rest.
No, wait. I want you to do me a favor.
Yes?
I want to look at myself. I want to see my face. I don't even know what my face looks like.
Well, you just look like the boy in this picture, only 10 years older.
Please.
Well, you're only going to make yourself unhappy. You've got cuts all over your face. No, all right. Okay. Well, do you recognize it? Is your face familiar?
In a way, yes. And in a way, it looks like it belongs to a perfect stranger.
So the hearing didn't go well. Judge Harper can be that way. I warned you.
Yeah, I guess my mind wasn't on the case. Boss, I got a confession to make.
Just put it in writing. 3 copies on my desk first thing in the morning.
Well, I hope you're telling jokes when I get done saying what I want to say here. It's about my lunch date.
Oh, don't tell me. You had garlic. That's okay for vampires, bad for judges.
I had lunch with your wife.
What?
I had lunch with Raven. Now, look, it wasn't my idea. She called me. She said that she had something very important to talk about, and, well...
Well, what? What you want to know about me? I assume that was the purpose of the lunch.
Well, it wasn't about you specifically. It was more concerning the...
Well, come on. What was it?
Well, I found out one thing. I found out what she's been doing the past 4 weeks. Remember you said you wondered why she didn't get in touch with anybody?
She told you?
Yeah. Apparently she's been in touch with lawyers. She's seen every matrimonial attorney in this town. She's trying to find her chances of getting that kid back. You know, from talking with her, I think that she really loves this little boy. I think you misunderstand her. I think she has some deep maternal feelings.
Raven doesn't have any feelings at all. Why would she... If she's priming herself for a custody battle, there's only one explanation. She wants revenge. She's chosen the right thing. There's nothing she could do would hurt me more, either.
Well, now, I know it's none of my business, but you know, from having talked with her, I think that she has a very good case here.
You gonna take it?
Are you kidding? No.
What about those other lawyers she talked to? Has anybody taken it?
No, nobody wants to touch it. That's why she was so angry. Everyone's afraid to take you on in court.
That's her story? mean, she's got this terrific case, but everybody's afraid to face the brilliant district attorney.
Well, you have to admit now, she is the legal parent in this case. You are just her husband.
She mentioned the fact that she abandoned Jamie when she went to London, left him on the Scott doorstep like so much laundry.
Yes, but her contention is that that was just temporary.
And her contention is a lie. Draper and April will April will testify to that if Raven is serious about a custody battle. Somehow, though, I don't buy this. She doesn't want Jamie now. She didn't want him then. It's often difficult to tell what she wants, but one thing's for certain, she doesn't want to be a mother.
Yeah. Look, I better be going, boss, okay? Good night.
All right, what's it say?
Talk is simple for ravens who cannot fly.
Let me see that. Elliot, I did not say it was going to be simple. I said it was going to be legal. Now, it happens all the time. Couples are constantly fighting, they break up, and then they try to snatch the kids from each other, and I've never heard of anyone that got arrested for it.
Well, how many of them had district attorneys for daddies?
Look, Logan may be the DA, but he's not the DAD.
Well, he kept the kid for 6 months while you were away in London polishing your English accent and God knows what else.
Logan has no legal rights. Besides, I don't care what happens after we get the kid. I'm just concerned about getting him.
And you're not worried about the abandonment charge?
There are only two people who could possibly say that I tried to give that child away, and one of them is dead.
And the other?
April's my friend. She wouldn't try to stop me from getting my son back.
Look, her husband was your husband's best friend. Seems to me there's a conflict of interest here.
That's ridiculous. April is not going to consider Logan her best friend after what he did to Draper.
He didn't do anything. It was Nelson who prosecuted him.
Cliff Nelson is merely a mouthpiece. The district attorney is the one who runs the office. And April's going to see that Logan was the one responsible for Draper's death because he's the one that sent him to prison.
You're really very sure of yourself, aren't you?
Well, it's also obvious. Besides, April is very numb right now. She's like in a state of shock, and she doesn't even know what happened.
And when she does find out?
Well, then she'll know that Logan's her enemy, not her friend. Because she'll know that Logan's the one that sent Draper to prison, and therefore Logan's the one responsible for Draper getting on that train. Darling, by the time I'm through with April, she's going to think it's Logan's fault that that bridge got washed out and the train got wrecked.
Whoa. Oh, boy. Raven, you know something? There are definitely times when you frighten me.
Well, that's what excites you, isn't it?
Molly? Molly, you here? Yes, Molly, I am happy.
You're leaving this house, mister. And you're leaving right now.